gave him my life in the beginning because I thought it was the right thing to do.
The government's star witness is Philip Leonetti.
Leonetti isn't a mob captain anymore. He's a mob informant.
The 36-year-old Leonetti is going to talk.
This is Philip Leonetti before he broke his vow of silence on June 20th, 1989, and turned state's evidence.
The government calls Philip Leonetti.
Leonetti was the underboss of the Philadelphia crime family until he became a government witness. He broke the code of La Cosa Nostra and testified against the mob. For more than a decade, he had been in hiding with his family.
We did nothing ruthless. Besides, well, I would kill people, but that's our life. That's what we do.
What did you like best about being a gangster?
I liked the respect that I received from everybody in our family, because I had quite a reputation, you know, from being taught by my uncle the rules of the mob. You know, hey, he taught me how to kill people.
Hey, Nicky! How about a few words?
He was the nephew of Nicodemo Little Nicky Scarfo, the mob boss who controlled rackets from Philadelphia to Atlantic City. Phil Leonetti was his right-hand man. They called him Crazy Phil.
Kathy Gandolfo has put together a special report, a chronicle of the mob activities that led up to Scarfo's alleged dominance of the local mob.
His favorite expression was that you got to shoot him, got to keep killing him. You can't stop killing, just keep killing him.
Bruno decided that he'd had enough after Nicky stopped by the Oregon diner one night and killed some guy with a butter knife.
Your uncle did a freelance killing with a butter knife?
Yeah, he got in a fight with a guy in a diner, and the guy's choking him. And he's reaching, he grabs a butter knife, and he sticks it in the guy, and it hits his heart, and the guy dies.
And when a 10-year-old boy was asked to be his uncle's decoy to help get rid of a pickup truck used for a mafia hit.
It was great. And he even told me how he killed the guy, the way he shot him, then he had to stab him with an ice pick. It was a terrible, terrible thing he did, but he did it to a bad man, and the man deserved it.
You were excited to be in the truck?
Yeah, it was an honor for me. It really, because that they needed my help. A 10-year-old kid. These guys that I respected and look up to, that they needed me. It was great. I loved it.
Scarfo and Virgilio knew Helfont was a regular at the Flamingo. While Scarfo waited in the car, Virgilio went inside. He walked up to Helfont, placed an arm around his shoulders, and fired 4 shots into his body. 15 minutes later, Helfont was dead.
Keep your filthy hands out of Atlantic City. Keep the hell out of our state.
The police say it has all the signs of a classic mob hit.
Angelo Bruno was driven home from dinner at Cuz's Little Italy. A mob associate was behind the wheel.
They pull in front of Bruno's home, right off the corner of 10th and Snyder. They're sitting there talking. Bruno lights a cigarette, and the mob associate pushes the automatic buttons to lower the windows.
A man emerged out of the shadows and put a double-barreled shotgun behind Bruno's right ear and fired.
So this is what we do. This is what we are. We're killers. I mean, especially with my uncle.
Testa had selected an old-school member of the Philadelphia mob as his underboss. His name was Peter Casella. Under mafia rules, Casella would be next in line should anything happen to Testa. So Casella decided to make something happen. On March 14th, 1981, Casella ordered a nail bomb with 21 sticks of dynamite to be planted under Testa's front porch. Philip Testa arrived home in the early morning of the next day. From across the street, someone from Casella's crew watched his every move.
The kid who built the bomb is sitting in a van across the street. He's got a remote-controlled detonator. And Testa walks up the steps, and it's just as he's about to go in the door, he hits the button,